Hey folks, if I could have your attention, please. We're going to dismiss in just a few moments, but I'm very glad that we have such a great turnout here today and that each and every one of you could be here to share an experience in the next few minutes. It's just a great honor to stand before you today as we recognize our long-serving OSPA Executive Director, Mrs. Ann Brennan, who will be retiring at the end of this calendar year. Ann had asked that we not make a big fuss about this whole retirement business, but this is the one and only time in our history as an association that we feel compelled to disagree with her. There are significant moments in the life of any organization, and this is one such moment for OSPA. Ann Brennan has been the heart and soul and the muscle of OSPA for more than 28 years. First arriving to us as the OSPA Director of Legislative Services and Professional Relations, from the beginning, Ann provided outstanding advocacy efforts to advance systemic changes in policies that improved services to Ohio's school children. Ann has been incomparable in establishing collegial and productive partnerships with the Ohio Department of Education, the State Board of Psychology, the Ohio General Assembly, the Governor's Office, the National Association of School Psychologists, the Ohio Psychological Association, the Inter-University Council for Ohio School Psychology, and countless other allied stakeholders in our shared work of improving outcomes for our students. It was Ann who established the connections that have led to school psychologists being at the table during the formulation of any policies and practices affecting our kids. Several years ago, Ann was promoted to be OSPA's Executive Director. In that capacity, she has been a trusted partner with our business managers, Mrs. Cheryl Vandenberg, who we are happy to report is here with us today for this moment. Thank you, Cheryl. And Mrs. Rachel Chilton, about whom you'll be hearing more tomorrow at our OSPA business meeting during lunchtime. Since becoming our Executive Director, Ann has overseen the daily functioning of all that OSPA does as an association. Her efforts and accomplishments have been far too numerous to catalog here, but some of them have included working with the State Board of Psychology to redefine and expand the scope of school psychology practice, working with the Ohio Department of Education to craft proposals and language for administrative rule changes to improve needed services to our school children, revising the list of services and qualifications of providers eligible for Medicaid reimbursement, establishing parameters for the appropriate supervision of school psychology interns, and so much more. In addition, in an era when we are facing critical shortages in school psychologist practitioners nationwide, Ann has been the single reason for Ohio's comprehensive and effective response to this issue. Over the years, even in difficult budgetary times, Ohio students continue to benefit from the funding that support the best practices orientation of our internship training program. Each time this program has been targeted by the budget-cutting acts, Ann has sprung into action and mobilized a statewide network of supporters that she has cultivated so skillfully over the years. And she has rescued our internship program from the brink of extinction more than once. Her network is comprised of a variety of supporters, including legislators of both political parties, officers and representatives of the school boards and administrators' statewide organizations, as well as advocacy groups for children with disabilities, members of state regulatory boards, and key officials in the Ohio Department of Education. Because of Ann Brennan, Ohio has a uniform set of school psychology training standards that are now among the very best in our nation. And we predict that years from now, this program will remain at the forefront of our memories when we recollect Ann's lasting impact on Ohio school psychology. In recognition of Ann's many good works, the following was co-authored for our edification by the director and two associate directors of the Office for Exceptional Children. We would like to extend our congratulations to Mrs. Ann Brennan on her retirement. Thank you, Ann, for your tireless commitment to the field and Ohio's students. You have been a trusted advisor to the department and to the Office for Exceptional Children, a valued stakeholder, and a critical thought partner. We wish you all the best and are glad that you will still be involved as a consultant with OSPA to help support the critical work that is needed for our most vulnerable students. Thank you for your leadership, your advocacy, and more importantly, your friendship. Congratulations. Respected by all, Anne leads with humility and never seeks to draw the spotlight to herself. She never claims credit for the celebrated outcomes of her advocacy efforts. She never even mentions, much less complains about, the demands on her time or the obstacles that she encounters. She has never shown impatience or irritation with others, even when they damn well deserve it. She has an extraordinary ability to understand issues in their greater context and to view those issues from the perspective of the key stakeholders around the table. And that enables her to make thoughtful, strategically sound recommendations that achieve win-win outcomes for everyone who is genuinely looking out for the interests of Ohio's school children. Indeed, there is no other person in the history of the great state of Ohio who has contributed more consistently and successfully to the profession of school psychology. Over the years, our association has been blessed with several leading lights in our profession that have distinguished themselves in countless ways, and happily, many of them are here with us today to celebrate this moment with Anne. To a person, though, they will all agree that Anne Brennan stands tall among these legends of Ohio school psychology. And Anne Brennan stands alone when it comes to the attainment of important objectives that promote the welfare of children, families, schools, and our shared profession. Many years ago, a group of Ohio leaders nominated Anne for the Outstanding Advocate Award from the National Association of School Psychologists. Among her cadre of nominators were Dr. Kathy McNamara, Dr. Mike Forcade, and Mr. Chuck Archer, all of whom offered testimonials that were shamelessly plagiarized to develop this speech today. They and many other dignitaries are with us to celebrate today with Anne, too. Happily, NASP conferred their Outstanding Advocate Award for Anne at their annual conference and convention in San Francisco. Sadly, Anne was unable to attend due to the advanced illness of her beloved and ever-supportive husband, John. Several of us attended that ceremony in California to accept that award on Anne's behalf, but to us it has always felt incomplete without Anne being there with us. Thus, it brings all of us such great joy that we can be here today with Anne in person, in her presence, to offer this so very well-deserved moment in the sun. As a way of extending the recognition provided to Anne at the national level, we here in Ohio are going to take this opportunity to surprise Anne by informing her that in recognition of her service, her accomplishments, her dedication, and her friendship, by unanimous vote of the OSPA Executive Board, we are hereby creating the Ohio School Psychologists Association Anne Brennan Outstanding Advocate Award. This recognition will be given annually to individuals or groups who have worked to make systemic changes in policies and practices that govern the provision of education and mental health services at the national, state, or local level. And you have been an abundant blessing to all of us. This was never just a job for you. You were never just marking time. You were the difference maker for all the work that we do together. You have been our guiding light. Your competence, integrity, kindness, skill, savvy, care, mentorship, diplomacy, generosity, and friendship have led all of us for a generation. Thank you. Thank you so much. You have our very best wishes as you embrace this next chapter of your life. Godspeed. Anne Brennan, folks.
Oh my goodness. Oh, how do you follow that, right? Who was that person you just described? My goodness, please bear with me because I'll tell you, it's been, ever since I announced my retirement, it's been a cavalcade of the kindest folks coming forward and just saying the nicest, most wonderful things, and it's every time it just brings on the tears. So let me just try and briefly really thank you. Where to begin to thank you all? It's a tough one, and I'm going to read this, otherwise I'd never get through it, right? I'm barely getting through it now, obviously. So where to begin to thank you all? It's a rare gift when you combine a job you love doing with the actual work, giving your life a greater purpose and meaning. This is what OSPA has given me, an opportunity to help school psychologists provide services that better the lives of students and families. I've been blessed to work for and on your behalf. I simply can't imagine a more kind, intelligent, funny, and compassionate group of people. There are far, far too many OSPA friends to thank, but let me especially thank those many volunteers who have served in leadership positions, served as officers, committee chairs, committee members, and task force members. Without their dedication and commitment, Rachel, and before Rachel, Cheryl Vandenberg, and I would simply not have been able to provide all the valuable services that you have come to expect. I will thank individually many of these folks, these long-term volunteers in the days and weeks ahead, and please know that I cherish your friendships. Okay, here we go again. Just bear with me. I thank Rachel Chilton and Cheryl Vandenberg, my coworkers and dear friends. You have both been a joy to work with. I know that we will continue our OSPA staff holiday party tradition, and I'll look forward to every one of them. We really go all out. We have a great luncheon every year, and that's our holiday party, the three of us, and we've had a great time doing that. So I see that my family is here, and I didn't know they were all coming, so it's a wonderful surprise. And they know how much I love and appreciate them. My sons Ryan, Kevin, my daughter Catherine, thank you for supporting me. You know how much I love you, and for being here today. My daughter Catherine, a mother of 10-week-old twin boys, John and Michael, recently shared with me that she learned how to present herself in a professional manner from listening to me conduct my OSPA business in the home office. And so that really made me smile. That makes it all worthwhile, right? Although I will be consulting with OSPA for a while to shepherd some important pending projects during the transition process, this will be my last conference serving as your executive director. I leave OSPA in very good hands, and I'll continue to assist Rachel Chilton when needed. I know that she's going to be just great, and I'm looking forward to working with her as a consultant in the next few months. I have treasured these 27, almost, 28 years, and I will always be grateful. And very proud to say, I represented the Ohio School Psychologists Association. Thank you with all my heart.